When it comes to Caribbean culture, from Trinidad to Notting Hill to Sweden to Germany, the first name that comes to mind is Sonny Blacks. Sonny, it's good to see you. Finally catching up with you, right?
Hi, man. Yeah, nice to talk to you.
So I think the best way to start this is in the beginning. We could go on forever, but how did it start for you in the Calypso fraternity back in Trinidad?
Well, being a young promoter, we're always looking to get up in life, and I saw this guy singing in a rum shop called Mighty Sparrow. Hey, boy, what you doing? And he said, well, I'm a singer. I said, yeah. So put him on a show, and of course, it was very successful. And then we sang Gene and Dinah on one of my shows in Trinidad. And, well, it did not finish the complete song. And therefore, there was a lot of bacchanal and bottle throwing, and the whole place mash up.
As you do. So that was what year was that? So you discovered the Mighty Sparrow.
Yes, I did. I will talk about in the early 50s, middle 50s, sorry.
And it laid down to that. So you had to run a Calypso tent in Trinidad? Or?
No, I didn't run a Calypso tent, but I took Calypsonian out of the season, like the Mighty Spoiler, Pretender, Sir Galba, people like that, Lord Melody, throughout Trinidad, in the like Labray and Point.
Because so the Calypso season was based around Carnival. So also the season you took them on tour around the island.
Yep, that's right, because that was my niche. Because Calypso, what people fail to realize, it was not a sort of socially accepted thing. Calypsonian was not accepted in society. And I remember a story that Sparrow and a guy, a friend of mine called Victor Blah, and myself was going down the Gaza Strip. Gaza Strip is down Ryson Road where all the nightclubs were. And we got to the door, and there was this doorman called Bobby Wilkie, and he said, look at the sign. We look at the sign, he said, no dogs and no Calypsonian. So Calypsonian was the real bottom rank of society.
But the popularity in the music grew with these live shows. The live shows were well attended.
Yeah, yes, a lot, because again, as you said earlier, it's a seasonal thing. Mm-hmm. And, because of Trinidad being a Christian country, more or less a Catholic country, when Lent starts just after Carnival, we had 40 days that you could not hear a Calypso on the radio. We didn't have TV, but you couldn't hear a Calypso because it was banned. And if you were singing a Calypso, somebody would come and tap you. So it wasn't accepted.
Okay. And moving on to that, you also had an involvement in Trinidad with the steel band fraternity to a great extent.
Well, yes. I was born in that area, and therefore it was the middle of all the development of steel band, and therefore the men who became legend like Neville Jules and Fisheye. On my way to school, I used to go and help them catch up the pan or sing the pan. Remember, it wasn't an oil drum at that time. They were biscuit drum and paint drum and pitch oil tin drum. They were very light in metal, very light metal.
Yeah. So you contributed to that development. Moving on, because I want to get to Britain. What made you come to Britain?
Well,
the UK, the United Kingdom.
Very nice. I came to England. First of all, I was going around the world, and I got a free ticket, which was unheard of in those days, from the shipping company. So I was decided to, the boat came to Italy, and we came across Switzerland and to France and get a boat to England. But we were here, and I was here in June, and I found it was very cold. And of course, we didn't have much people from the Caribbean community here. There was Boots Davison, who stayed here from Taspo. Mm-hmm. And then after about a month or two, I decided, no, this is not for me. And I went back all the way back in the same way I came and got a boat from Italy, got repatriated from Italy to Trinidad. Well, repatriation is not deportation. It means the government of Trinidad paid my ticket, but I had to reimburse them to get back my passport.
Okay. And then you ended up here again.
And then I ended up here again because I was down there, and to me and Curtis Spear, who is my very personal friend, was the captain of the Dixieland Steel Orchestra. Dixieland Steel Orchestra was what we call a white steel band in Trinidad, but they're not white, they're just fairer than me. But they won the music festival in 1961. Mm-hmm. And then I encouraged them to come to England, and we had money because this was one of the first steel band was playing into fetes and things because of the social respectability. Mm-hmm. And so we come to England 1961.
And then you got involved in promotion in a big way in the UK, because I remember one of the artists that you really promoted, King's Cross Town Hall, Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
How did you link up with Jimmy Cliff?
Well, Jimmy Cliff, you see, at one time when I was living in the Grove here, I was very good friends with Jackie Edwards. And through Jackie Edwards, we met Danny Ray, Dandy Livingston, Jimmy Cliff, Count Prince Miller.
Legendary reggae artist.
And therefore, at a certain time, in the Carnival, very few Trinidadians used to come to the Carnival at that time. And I used to line with that bunch, Jamaican artists. Yeah. Who, at the time, they weren't on the top yet, but they came onto the top.
Now, you also, I'm moving fast here because we could do this more in depth at some point. But you also had a great input in taking Caribbean culture into Europe, places like Denmark and Sweden.
Well, yes, and Germany. And, the whole Dixieland Steel Band, who became Les Flambeaux, I took them the entire part of Europe. We did tours and tours. And then we also bought Calypso band from Trinidad called like Trinidad Troubadours, Band 5 Steel Band, and took them into Europe and was very successful.
So that helped to lay the foundation for Caribbean culture going through into Europe.
Yes, very much so, because it wasn't known. Pan was not something people had ever heard before. And even Calypso, I took the Black Stallion, Denise Plummer, Roy Cape Orchestra to Finland. And it was the first time Calypso have ever been to Finland. Calypso Monarch coming to Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. I mean, it was really special tour.
But what sort of reception did you get from the general public?
Everything was sold out. Everything was sold out. Every show, we had no room. But because of, we were not supported by any sponsors or government or anything, and therefore we had to make do with what little we had. But it was successful.
One band that you toured with, no longer with us, a guy which is a roots and culture band from Jamaica, Royal Razzes.
Oh yes, I was in Denmark and I had a call from Count Prince Miller to come over and meet Bob Marley, but that's the next story. So I'd
like to hear a bit more about that.
That's another story. That's a longer story. But then I had a call from friends in London and said, you got to come and hear this band just here from Jamaica. So I flew over and met not Count Prince Miller, but Royal Razzes, Prince Lincoln. And I took them again. For the first reggae band went to Finland. Prince
Lincoln and the Royal Razzes.
Prince Lincoln and the Royal Razzes. I always get them confused. And then we come and did Norway, Sweden again, and come back. And unfortunately, it could have been a very big thing, but he passed away at a very young age, and the band collapsed.
Okay. Your involvement with Calypso Rose?
Calypso Rose and I is my friend. We've been working together. We have toured maybe 20 times across Europe. And she's a dear friend of mine. And we had a good relation for about 20 years. We've been working together. We had her at the Tabernacle here, together with the Caribbean Carnival Extravaganza. And she's a brilliant artist, plus a very nice human person. And I would do anything for her, and she, I guess, would do the same for me.
Great. The future, you're still looking young, you're still dressed, and you're still working in the entertainment industry, promoting Caribbean culture. How do you see it progressing now? There's a whole change in the
Well,
routine.
we don't have the market as before. If I was bringing people like I bought Duke, I bought all them top artists, we could guarantee our audience about 400 people. But now you'll be pushing to get 200 people because people have retired, people don't want to leave the TV. They got to a certain age. You've got to be very special, and the only special artist they would come out for is the Mighty Sparrow or Calypso Rose, but not in numbers as Sparrow.
David Rudder, so you've done some work with him.
It's a hard sell. He's a great artist, but we haven't got the market again.
Okay. Well, it's great chatting to you, Sonny. So
Yeah.
we have to get to that Bob Marley conversation one of these days.
Next time.
Next time. Take good
Okay,
care.
Smoke. Thank you very much.